Inside the Fox 43 podcast studio, we are proud to bring into this week's Sunday sit down, president of the Rose Bowl Legacy Foundation, a Pennsylvania native, Deedon Brozino. Deedon, thanks a lot for joining us.
Andrew, thanks for having us. Thanks for all you guys do to cover the great state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, and thanks for bringing us out here on a beautiful day here at the Rose Bowl on the West Coast.
So we got to start where you're from in Pennsylvania. You're from northeastern Pennsylvania, Lehighton. How did you get from Lehighton to be the president of the Rose Bowl Legacy Foundation?
Yeah, no, good question. Lehighton's a small town, as a lot of the viewers know, 4,000 people, and you see the same people at church, the grocery store, high school. It's a very relationship-driven town, which a lot of the towns are in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, and I think that really helped me in my current role. I went to DeSales University down in Center Valley, Lehigh Valley area of Pennsylvania, played a little college baseball, and just like any athlete at any given time, there's a time and a place to hang it up. And for me, that happened. We made a College World Series run at DeSales in 2003. And after that, it was just my time. Every athlete reaches its end. So I got involved in sport management. That's what my degrees are in. And when I graduated, the West Coast was calling. I got my graduate degree out here, moved out here with my girlfriend, now my wife, whom I met in the Lehigh Valley and happened to be from California. And the rest is history. So, but I do owe a lot to my time in Lehighton. A small town like that teaches you how to be relationship driven and genuine with folks. And now having the opportunity to run a nonprofit organization, which has been a personal goal of mine, let alone for a sports nut with a setting like this. That's really come full circle, but I owe a lot of it to my time in Lehighton there and the foundational elements that it taught me about just being good with people.
That setting in Pasadena, probably, in my opinion, is the most iconic setting for all of sports, especially college football. And what's going on new with the Rose Bowl? You guys just raised $40 million for the Rose Bowl Legacy Foundation.
Yeah, a lot. We were talking in a meeting earlier. I mean, there's a whole generation, Andrew, that looks at the Rose Bowl now as the place where Coldplay comes to play, or there's a giant flea market every month, or Taylor Swift. We've come a long way. We used to be a major college football stadium that hosted certain one-offs, the Super Bowl, the Olympic Games. Now that paradigm has kind of shifted. We're a bit of a music venue that hosts really special college football games. So I guess my point is we're a different cultural destination for a lot of people than what traditionally you or I might know it as, but the guts and the characterization of the stadium haven't changed over the years. It's this historic, iconic place with this historic, iconic view, and it's a multi-generational place that evokes this emotion from anybody that visits it. Myself included. I grew up like a lot of the viewers back there, watching it on TV on January 1st or 2nd, and wondering how the sky could be so blue and how there's no white stuff on the ground, And I think even though we've evolved over time, it's still that place that is this multi-generational emotional place that no two stories are the same. And I think as we look to our future, we're the home field for UCLA football. They're joining the Big Ten Conference, so Penn State fans will see a lot of the Bruins out there and vice versa. We have our third Olympic Games coming up in 2028, and the evolving world of college football is putting the Rose Bowl game smack dab in the middle of the CFP discussion every year. So my chief role here day to day is to find money to keep this place special and keep it going. We're early into our 101st year as a stadium, and many stadiums don't make it to that point, let alone stay as vibrant and relevant as the Rose Bowl has over the years here in Pasadena. So the $40 million that we raised was from about 5,000 donors nationwide, from State College, Pennsylvania to Columbus, Ohio to Austin, Texas. And I think that the depth and the breadth of those gifts and the way people donate to the Rose Bowl, which is not a traditional nonprofit organization in terms of ones that we're typically used to seeing as a society, shows how special this place has been for generations. And as we head towards the future and head towards that Big Ten movement for UCLA, the CFP evolution for the Rose Bowl game, and ultimately our third Olympic Games in 28, this place needs a lot of help. So we're excited to look at that this summer and figure out what the next steps are to keep this venue light and bright and exciting for people that still have yet to visit it.
What was it like having Penn State, being a Pennsylvania native, come out there for a visit recently and get a win over Utah in the Rose Bowl?
It's pretty awesome. I'm a homer. So anytime you get Yeah, we all are, and you know, if I could do it all over again, I love my time in DeSales. I met my wife there, met a lot of good friends there, and mentors and things. I was at Penn State a lot. I hung out there a lot with some of my really good friends, and it's just in your blood. You know, growing up in northeastern Pennsylvania, there's really no option other than Penn State football, and that was really special for me. So I've been fortunate. I've been here almost 8 years now, and I've seen Penn State come through twice. Once was in 2017. They lost that shootout with USC, and a record-breaking game for Sam Darnold at USC. But you know, Saquon had one of those iconic runs that we all know Saquon for, and to see them come back and see more of those iconic long runs that were representative of that 2017 team and even the '94 team with that first play from scrimmage back there when Joe Paul brought him out here, it's just special. So you know, it's always emotional here with the flyover and a packed house on New Year's Day or this past year, January 2nd. It's very Americana, but to throw Penn State on that as a Pennsylvania boy, it really meant a lot to me, and it took on a little bit extra emotion. I might have been peeking at the scoreboard. I just noted. I mean, that's one of those things that has made Penn State travel well as a fan nationwide. Like I know I'm all the way out here in Pasadena, so I don't get to see the Nittany Lions often, but seeing the players and the coaches come out for their walkthrough the days before the game and see the same type of emotion and childlike attitudes that I have when I come to work every day was really really special. And I think you know you always go back to the tradition of college football at a place like the Rose Bowl, but also with programs like Penn State. I mean, no names on the jerseys, same helmets. I love seeing new shiny uniforms just like anybody else because it's a fan's game at the end of the day. But it's really made me proud to be a Big Ten fan and ultimately a Penn State fan going back to before they were even in the conference. So really excited to see them out here much more, hopefully in the future.
You mentioned being a traditionalist. That to every college football fan, that is the Rose Bowl. That was the dream coming up when everybody was younger and go back to when college football started. You wanted to be in the Rose Bowl because it was the game. How do you see the Rose Bowl's role going forward in what the future holds for college football?
Yeah, I mean it's a really good question that I don't know many have the answer to yet because we're
Mhm.
not beyond the 2026 media deal yet that we're looking at. But we have great partners at the Tournament of Roses Association here in town. They started the Rose Parade in the late 1800s. They've been champions and stewards of the Rose Bowl game for almost as long. They have a great handle on the field for college football right now and how it's going to chart the stadiums and the Rose Bowl game's path heading into this next era of college football. But you know, just like anything, change is uncomfortable. So I think we're waiting patiently and eagerly, like any other fans. You know, me in particular, being a Penn State guy. But I think the way the Tournament of Roses has handled themselves over the years has been with always with class, always with ethics, and you know I think the college football world understands and knows well that the Rose Bowl Stadium and the Rose Bowl game, whether it be on January 1st or another day, depending on how the media deal shakes down, is going to be a special place, and it's going to be must-watch TV, and it's going to be a must-watch and must-tend environment.
If there are people out there that are hearing this for the first time, how do they go about making sure if they want to preserve the legacy of the Rose Bowl and also push it forward? How do they get involved with your organization?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the question. I mean, we've gone from about 2025 small group of donors in 2010 when the Rose Bowl Legacy Foundation was founded to over 5,000 nationwide now, and it's taken every bit of it. The Legacy Foundation has a mission to preserve, protect, and enhance the stadium behind me. So the beautiful new lights we have, the video boards, even simple replacements like an aging water and gas line, things that the public doesn't necessarily see. All those donations are tax deductible, and they really help the future of the stadium to make sure it's around for our kids and our grandkids to enjoy like prior generations have. And people can find us online at rosebowllegacy.org if they want to get involved. Every bit helps, whether you're buying a brick out in front of the Rose Bowl to commemorate a Penn State Rose Bowl game win over Utah or getting involved in a different way. Again, everybody's got a different story. No two stories are the same. We enjoy hearing them all, and we're very humbled and thankful for the people that have gotten involved to this point and excited to meet those that haven't yet gotten involved.
I feel like all those stories start with chills when they first see the Rose Bowl. Then they see the iconic marquee on the outside with the Rose Bowl logo or with the single rose above Rose Bowl. They see Jackie Robinson's statue out front, and the stories just go on from there. But really, when you come into the stadium, I come off the elevator at the Rose Bowl, and somebody just happened to look at my media tag and say, "Welcome to the Rose Bowl, Mr. Clister." We don't get that every place, and that's part of the specialness. So I have to ask you, is that trained into the staff? Do you guys go, or is that just the type of people who work at the Rose Bowl that's just in their nature to treat everyone like that?
No, I mean, and thank you for acknowledging that. I mean, it's definitely trained and talked about, but I mean, we're very fortunate to have best in class people work for us on major event days. I mentioned we only have 35 full-time staff members that steward and champion the stadium day to day. But on an event day, we're a small city. It's 4,000 to 8,000 people, and we've been fortunate to be with the same security team for over 50 years. We've been fortunate to be with a lot of the different hospitality and greeter employees that we have today for several years. So it is something we talk about actively, but we're very fortunate that people get that. And much like you, Andrew, coming through the gates and saying how enamored you are when you see the marquee sign in the field and just the excitement to be here, I think our staff also embodies that excitement day to day. And I think when you have a place like the Rose Bowl that automatically instills that humility and excitement in people, it makes it a lot easier to do your job, and it makes it a lot easier to ensure other people are enjoying their time with us. Because on any given day, it's somebody's first time here, and I think that's true for any sports venue in the world. It's somebody's first time here, and you don't know how long they've been waiting to come. You don't know how long they've been saving up to come. Is it a hardship? Is it not a hard? It's our job to make that special for all 90,000 plus people or all 10,000 plus people, depending on the size of the event. And I think it's really nice that our staff has one heartbeat to make that possible.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me your top 5 reasons why someone who's waiting at home and is going to see this, that has always dreamed about seeing the Rose Bowl. Give them top 5 reasons why they should come out to Pasadena.
Top 5 reasons, regardless of opponent or matchup. The mountains and the blue sky wanted to. The sunset is different every day. There's years that there are no sunsets. There's years that the sunset is on the west side of the stadium, which is totally backwards for us, but it's incredibly beautiful. And much like a lot of the places in this country that are just so incredibly gorgeous, the sky and the mountains and that sunset are 1, 2, and 3 on that list. Number 4, I think it's a bucket list. If you're into sports venues, live sporting events, there's something about this place where it doesn't matter who's on the field. It doesn't matter who's digging their cleats into the grass or who's kicking the ball around. It matters that this is a part of history. And as a lot of the East Coast people know, in Pennsylvania, New England, Mid-Atlantic, they're about their history back there. This place is no different. And just for that reason of being a bucket list item, I think you have to check it off because it's really hard to explain. And I think number 5 on that list, Andrew, is just the emotion of it all. I've gotten to be here for almost 8 years now, and I've enjoyed this place with my family. I've enjoyed it with friends. I've enjoyed it with my kids. And there's an emotion to this place as number 5 on that list that is really hard to provide a definition to, because the place hits everybody a different way. For me, going back to this past summer, my children who are 10 and 7, almost 11 and 8, got to walk out onto the field in front of 90,000 people holding the hands of a Real Madrid soccer player during the national anthem before the start of a game. And, my wife and I are on the sidelines tearing up because we can't believe what's happening. And to see the emotion in the kids' eyes when they come off the field from something like that, which obviously is a very unique example, but it's different. Kenny Chesney played here, first country music concert in our history back in 2015. On that day, Kenny Chesney met Keith Jackson. We all know Keith's voice is in our head. He's narrating the game that's going on behind me right now for a lot of us. But Kenny met Keith for the first time, and Kenny talked about the bond that Keith's voice and the Rose Bowl provided for Kenny and his father growing up, because back then it wasn't like today where all these games were accessible. There was 1 or 2 games a weekend, and Keith was usually on the call. So hearing things like that, I give you 2 examples, one personal, one from a celebrity standpoint, because they're all the same. This place humanizes everybody on an emotional level that is really uniquely special, and it's really hard to define, and you don't understand that unless you walk through the gates and enjoy it for yourself.
Absolutely, Deaton. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you taking the time today.
You got it, Andrew. Thank you guys, and thanks for paying attention and loving the Rose Bowl the way you do. Go Penn State.